What's going on, peeps? Bemorephotos here, back at y'all with another video, and I'm sorry I've been away for a while. I've had to just regather my bearings, think about YouTube, what I really want to do, what I really want to get across on YouTube, and start making some videos, start making some content that I want to bring to you guys. So this is what I'm back. I'm gonna try to keep it consistent, maybe like one video, 2 videos a week, depending on what's going on in the Bemorephotos world. Yeah, thanks for sticking by me. Thanks for those people, you know, still subscribed. You lot are some loyal, great people, great support. So today it's gonna be my top 5 tips on how to improve your photography. You know, because we're going through some tough times right now. You know, people are just like, you know, people are losing their jobs, people are like, you know, losing their businesses, and a lot of people are turning into a creative form of careers. So I thought, why not do a video on how to improve your photography for people who are aspiring photographers, for people who are out there wanting to take their photography to the next level. This video is for you. Top 5 things you can be doing to get your photography to the next level. Let's go. Also, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I need all the support I can get right now. Anyway, let's get to the video. So, number 1 is background awareness. So, when you're taking photos and you're shooting and you're out getting an amazing shots, maybe you're taking portraits, you've got someone in the shot, always consider what's going on in the background. It's so important. The background is so important as the foreground, because a lot of pro photographers are gonna be like, yeah, you've got that person or you've got that subject and they look amazing, but look what's going in the background. Or you're shooting at home and you're shooting your parents, you're shooting family, and in the background you can like see piles of clothes or dirty clothes, or the room's a bit of a mess and it's a bit embarrassing, but the initial portrait, the initial shot looks really good. The light, you got them in the best light. It's just the background ruins it. And I think for me and a lot of photographers that I talk to, shooting, when you shoot, like, the background is as important as the foreground, but also it's about basically, like, if there's something you want people to see, the leading lines, or you want someone to see this beautiful lake, or you want someone to see this beautiful mountain, anything that cannot pull them out of looking at the mountain, anything that can just pull them away from what you want them to show, either should not be there, and if it's there and people know your work, basically it's like a deliberate mistake. You've done it on purpose because you want them to look there. But usually if it's a distraction, go to Photoshop and remove it usually. So that's number 1, is background awareness. Okay, so number 2 is know the pros and cons of your camera gear. So I think I've gone out for this before in some of my tutorials and stuff, but basically shooting with your gear, you got to know your strengths and your weaknesses of your gear. This is going to help you in certain situations where you're shooting and you're maybe shooting in certain scenarios where this is the weak point of your gear and it's not going to perform well, hence the photos are going to look not that great. So basically it's like when you've got a lens that's maybe like a high aperture and you're shooting in really low light, you know, you're going to need a tripod. If you haven't got a tripod, certain shots are going to be harder to get, especially shots like, say you want to shoot some panning, some car trail, not car trail, sorry, panning. You're going to get a panning shot, but it's really low light, and you really have to go to low actually, is that a good example? Panning shot. No, maybe not a panning shot, but maybe shooting in low light with a lens with a high aperture rating. You're going to have to go to really slow shutter speeds, and if your gear's not stabilized, you know, it's going to be harder to get sturdy shots. You're going to need a tripod. But then certain shots like street photography, yeah, that's a good example. So if you talk about street photography in low light, using the high aperture rating, they say it's a 4.6 or 4.5 to 6.3 or something like that. It's going to be harder to freeze someone in that light. Hence, because you need a fast enough shutter speed to freeze them, but then you need a slow enough shutter speed to basically shoot in that light. So knowing your gear, what lens. So some lenses I use for street, so my street lenses will be an 85 1.4 or 70-200 2.8. But then if I'm shooting wide angle stuff, I'm going to be shooting with my 14-24. You know, I've got different gears for different scenarios. I would not shoot street, well, I have shot street with my 14-24, but it's harder to do. It's harder to get. It depends on what I'm trying to create at the end of the day. It depends what you're trying to create at the end of the day. So knowing what your gear can do for you in certain scenarios will help you when you come to those scenarios to shoot. So you need to shoot with your gear and be like, okay, this didn't work, but this works, or but this was harder to get. Or, do you understand what I'm saying? Anyway, it's all swings and roundabouts. Just knowing strengths and weaknesses will help you be a better photographer in the long run. So yeah, that's tip number 2. We went a bit of a roundabout there, but I'm sure you got the picture. Okay, cool. Okay, let's go. So tip number 3 is try and take pictures in the best light. Now what that means is going out shooting in sunrise and sunset scenarios. So you want the best light in this that the sky's going to give you, and that's where the sun's maybe nearly at its lowest point, or where it's like, maybe it's like, you know, blue hour, maybe it's you know, maybe it's golden hour. Now you need to figure out, like, if your photography needs this. Don't be taking these points and you don't even shoot. You know, you shoot product photography. There's no point taking these points. I'm talking about photographers who shoot out. They go out to shoot. They go out to shoot the cityscape photography. You know, you want to shoot like Tower Bridge. Go out and shoot in those times. Those are the times you're going to get the best shots, you know. So when the light is at its golden, when the light is just peaking, the sunrises, those are the shots that are going to accentuate your cityscape photography. So you need to go out, you need to wake up, go out and shoot in the best light. This is going to upgrade your photography so much. And if you're not doing it already, just go now. Go right now. So tomorrow, sunrise, you guys are hitting sunrise. Whoever's watching this, go. Yeah? Okay, that's tip number 3. Boom. Alright, tip number 3, sewn up. Boom. Okay, so tip number 4 is, this is a tough one. It's going to be an ongoing challenge for some of you, but I'm sure you can do it. Basically, it's try and shoot with photographers who are better than you, and create a basically like a kind of group of photographers that share ideas, share scenarios. Basically put yourself in a, you got to kind of surround yourself with people that shoot, but they're all better than you and they're going to raise your game. So you need to basically network, you got to talk, you got to communicate, you got to be a nice person. Right? No one's going to shoot with you if you're not a nice person. Okay, so just work on your, if you need to work on that first, then start talking to people, start, you know, creating vibes, you know, working on your game, and don't make it seem like you want something from them. Just try and be their friends, you know. Just try and get to know them. Try and be a nice person yourself, and then they're gonna wanna hang around with you. Like, who's not gonna hang around with people who are nice, especially photographers, you know? Because the photographer road is kind of a lonely road. You're kind of like a one-man band, you know. So it's good to create camaraderie. It's good to create, you know, friendships, teamwork in this kind of genre of work of freelancers. So always try and surround yourself with better photographers than yourself, and then you'll start becoming one of the better photographers, and then people are going to want to surround themselves with you, and it's just going to be creating all these circles and then circles and more circles and circles, and then it's going to be this great massive thing, and it's just going to be like amazing. Okay, that's enough. Okay, let's go. So now we're on to tip number 5. Okay, so this is my last tip I'm gonna give you. Now what this infuriates me so much when I see people do this. Okay, so what it is, tip number 5 is working on your image presentation, because you only have one chance to show an image. You have one chance. Once it's on the web, it's done. It's on there. People can see it. They're gonna comment and they're gonna give their first impressions of the image. So you need to make sure that image is on the levels. Okay, now doing that means what I do, I'll tell you what I do. So what I do, cropping composition is king. Yeah, you need to make sure you've cropped it in a nice way, you know, stretched it, skewed it if you need to, you know, vertical, horizontal, whichever way you're presenting, it needs to be straight. The horizon needs to be straight. The little things that could just throw an amazing image off, you'll be surprised. So horizons, crops, compositions need to be 100%. Now, once you've got all that and you've got your edit and it's looking beautiful, take it into Photoshop. Clean up any little marks. You might have some little marks in the sky. You might have some little, I don't know, someone's head just sticking out the corner. Just scrub their heads out. You know, you may have some dust on your sensor and it's showing little dots in the clouds. Go in the clouds, look around, make sure everything looks mint. Save that, send that to your phone, upload it to Instagram and watch those likes keep rolling on. Likes, comments, boom. So presentation is so important. I can't stress it enough, yeah? So basically make sure your image is the best it can look before you upload it. Like, a lot of people get a bit carried away with the initial image and forget about things they can do to improve it. All of these things are going to help make your image, you know, gain more notoriety, gain more exposure. People want to share it, people are going to want to shoot with you, and in the end it's going to make you a better photographer, and this is what we want to do. Oh, how was that? So 5 tips. This was supposed to be 5 tips in 5 minutes, but I'm sure this video is nearly hitting like 10 minutes right now. But I just wanted to get my point across to you guys because I want your game to be raised. I want you to be amazing photographers. I want you to go out, shoot some bangers. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe. Also, if you want some, maybe some feedback on the image that you shot from gaining tips on this video, hit me up on Instagram, Bemorephotos, tag me in the shots, hashtag #BeMoreInspired, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Run it. Hands in the air now. Hands in the air. Run it.
Bemorephotos here, back at you with another video. And today I got my 5 tips for you for how to be a how to improve your photography. Oh my gosh. Okay, so number 2 is know your pros and cons of your camera gear. So let me start again.